truly in motion. To hear more about his mobile health service where doctor-patient care doesn't feel rushed, help me welcome Dr. Siren.
So, I'm Dr. Matthew Siren. I do home care visits. It's a little bit different of an idea for chiropractic. Most of us are, one of the things that I've realized within chiropractic is the fact that a lot of people don't know what I do. And if you've been to a chiropractor and seen a chiropractor, it may feel more almost like a factory setting, as though you're coming in, you're seeing the doctor for a short period of time, and then you're out. And I never really liked that style of chiropractic. I always wanted to be where I had more interaction with my patients. So I wanted to go into an area where I could be within their comfort zone and somewhere that they feel comfortable, and then to also provide them with a longer amount of care time, the ability to talk and things of that nature with me. So if you just want to kind of go through a couple here, it's supposed to be automatic, but obviously it's not going. So these are just kind of pictures to see like my day-to-day. This is what I normally do. You can just continue. Now, I show an x-ray on here because a lot of people always visualize chiropractors with showing an x-ray or some kind of specialty imaging or something of that nature. Now, honestly, that's not something that I shoot a lot of for a lot of patients. It's not something that I feel is completely necessary, but it is an option that we have now. That's the great part about my practice is that I work with businesses around the area to basically offer these services that you would be accustomed to in a normal practice, just in a more mobile setting. It's just adjusting and then exercises and things like that. So a little bit about me. I graduated from UWEC with my major in human performance with a kinesiology degree. And I was going to be PT, OT, or a dietitian. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life, and I actually hated chiropractors. That was I was going through school, and I told myself I didn't want to be, I didn't really know anything about chiropractic, and I knew that I wanted to do something physical with people. I enjoyed training and things of that nature, and I enjoyed also nutrition. And so I went and did my internship and found out that I just didn't care for the rehabilitation side of things. I guess in the setting, and also the sense that I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, especially with being a dietitian. I just didn't care for what I was going to get to offer people. And so I was going through school, and I ended up having a back injury, and I probably had it for 2 years, and I fought with it. I'd go to a massage therapist every week, and nothing was changing it for me. And finally, I caved in. I said, "Fine, I'll go in. I'll see a chiropractor." And I was very skeptical. I walked in. I didn't want to even make eye contact. And I told him what was going on. And in 30 seconds, he said, "Oh, you have a rib issue. Lay down." And adjusted me. And it was the first time I had felt relief, probably within that 2 years. So for me, it was a huge impact on me. And that kind of just took a right curve and changed where my life was going. So from then on, I started diving deeper into that, and I ended up going to St. Louis and doing 4 years there at Logan, getting my doctorate. I graduated actually back in December, and decided, like I said, I wanted to do something different. I wanted something different for my patients than the usual idea of chiropractic. And for a lot of people, chiropractic falls into this category where normally it's older individuals that are doing it. Around here, we have some that are younger, but for most parts around here, it's a little bit of an older generation. It's that idea of that factory style that you're going in and they adjust you, and they truly believe in that adjustment, and then you're kind of out the door. And for me, I really wanted to have that time to work on other factors with people and basically provide that idea that people can conquer whatever they're facing. They just have to be able to believe in themselves and have that key to go towards it. So like I said, with my care, what makes it unique is the side that I'm coming to the person. That could be in their office, it could be at their home, it could honestly be out in a field, it could be just about anywhere. So I try to make it where people can fit it into their day-to-day, because I think for a lot of individuals, they don't take the time to go and see a doctor merely for the sense that there's going to be a large time investment into that. And that can be in a waiting room sense too. You drive, say, 20 minutes to the office, then you're sitting in the waiting room for 20 minutes, you finally see the doc, you see the doc for 5 minutes, and now all of a sudden you're driving 20 minutes back again. So I really wanted that concept where, you know, maybe it's a mother that has multiple children and she doesn't want to have to bring those kids along. Or maybe it's somebody that is in such, you know, excruciating pain that they just don't feel like they can get in a car and drive. Or maybe they're just a busy, you know, someone that's in a small business that doesn't have the time and they just need somebody to come and see them. So that's one side of it. The other side is to, like I said, with really allowing patients to know their doctor. I think that's a big side of it, to have the ability to talk with your doctor and to be able to discuss things. Like I said in my story, I had a back injury, and that's what brought me into a chiropractor, and that's probably the most common reason people see a chiropractor. But about 90% of the population doesn't really know what I do, and that falls into the category, even with people that see a chiropractor, not a lot of them know exactly what all I umbrella, basically. And in the sense that if someone's having a gut issue, or they're having perhaps depression, or whatever it is, there's a lot of different areas that chiropractors can affect people, not only in the sense of just an adjustment, but in the sense of nutrition, supplementation, and just being able to go that conservative route rather than trying to approach it in a medical medicine approach first. I always like the concept. We had a doc talk about the fact that in traditional medicine, that what we have right now is this rug-based idea where, say you spill something on the floor, like milk, and you decide that, well, instead of cleaning it up, that you're going to put a rug over top of that. And a lot of that is through medication, that idea that, well, you have something going on, well, let's cover this, and now it looks better, right? There's a rug over top, you don't see the spill underneath. Well, the issue becomes that now time has passed and things have progressed underneath that rug. Now it's rotten, it's grown, it's done whatever it has, and now all of a sudden you've decided that you want to change that lifestyle and you want to remove that rug off. Well, now you have this larger goal that you have to face. And so for me, that was always the kind of the big part with chiropractic is that we try to, or really any alternative medicine, looking at like funk med, a lot of different things out there, but that approach that you go that conservative route and that you try to attack whatever this root cause is before you get to the point where you just don't want to pull that rug off anymore because of the fact it's so bad underneath there. So how does my practice work? My front desk is online. I'm trying to go a different approach with things in the sense of everything is becoming mobile, everything is technology driven, and so I've created the ability for people to go online. Obviously, I'm a direct pay source, so it allows me to offer my services at a cheaper price for individuals for my time and for the ability to go to wherever they are. But this basically allows people to go onto my site. You can go on and see my schedule, choose whatever time works for you, pay through there, and then I show up at your door. So it can be done through your phone, through a laptop, through any source that's able to access onto the internet. So it makes it easier for individuals that just want to, set up a time and they don't want to have to call and talk and try to figure out, different things. They can just go on there, see what I have going on, and schedule their appointments. Like I said, so part of what I do is adjusting. If you've never been adjusted before, more or less it's the idea of bringing motion through joints. I'm a joint doctor. A lot of people think of us as back doctors, but it's more of a joint side of things. And an adjustment is basically opening that joint up and allowing that joint to move. And the big part of that is that when your joints aren't moving properly, the body wants to protect it. And so you have these muscle spasms. But when you incorporate that motion through there, basically you're affecting the nervous system, which then is telling the body, no, we're okay in this area, and it calms down that spasm. So for a lot of people that come in, they feel like a brick wall, basically, and a lot of that is more of the muscle itself than the joint. It's those muscles wanting to protect that joint. So that's really where the adjustment comes in. And then, like I said too, I do a lot of preventative exercise with people. So it's that idea that you open the body. I'm I'm basically the gatekeeper of opening that body, but now it's on you to be the person to actually go forth and create that stability and overcome whatever you're facing as a dysfunction. So that's a big part to me. I think that's really where you get people to change their lifestyle and to change, what they're facing on a day-to-day. This is just basically showing how my care compares to other docs. Most people, this is probably one of the largest things I face is a hard side for me to get across with people, is the fact that you're saying, oh, it's $85. And people go, it's $85, I can go to my doc in town for 50 or for 40 or whatever that may be. But for me, like I said, I'm doing a 30-minute treatment. So it's a much more in-depth look at what's going on with these individuals rather than the usual 5 to 10. I mean, some docs are doing 2-minute appointments and they have, patients trained to lay down and to put the face paper on and to do all these things. And I'm really trying to go towards more of that idea that you're able to chit chat and maybe that door opens that you say something that's been bothering you and you didn't even think about that I could help with that, and now all of a sudden we're able to conquer that for you. The other side of this too is the discount side. That's looking at family options and business options. I look to try to get mixed in with the corporate setting, be able to be like an on-site doc for corporations. Once I'm stationary, obviously it's much cheaper for me to be somewhere. And then that also basically shortens times down that I treat. If I'm on site with a corporation or even with a family, it would be a 15-minute appointment for those individuals, but then you're charging them $25. So it's very inexpensive. It allows people, if they have a family of 5, to all be seen for a decent amount of time for a decent cost. I also do a weekly podcast. I've been slowly building this up. It's now, you can download it off iTunes and things of that nature. Looking to bring people on to interview and discuss with different business ideas or health in the community or whatever it may be. But I thought it was kind of an interesting way to kind of reach out and to get involved with some of the businesses around here in Eau Claire. And then the question of the end, and how can you help me? So really, for me, it's coming down. I enjoy the networking aspect of things. I love being able to shake hands, give speeches, talk about what I do. I think, like I said, 90% of the population has no clue what I offer. And I think the biggest part that I face is just getting the word out about what I can do for people and what I can bring to the table. So, yeah, thank you for having me.